So, put together a little presentation, and the reason that I titled this presentation, "Are You the Future?" is because our connection with Cape Fear Soccer Club is really about the kids, okay? And it's about trying to give this community a pathway to reach the MLS and to the highest level of professional soccer in this country. The most important way to do that, and we really value this at the Philadelphia Union, is through player development. And so that's why we talk about this, Are You the Future, in our academy program. So this is just something that the Philadelphia Union, this is our purpose statement up here, okay? And, you know, there's some cool words here. That word trust, I use a lot with our team. But it's all the beliefs. It's like the mission statement for the Philadelphia Union. But I want you to look at number 4, okay? Number 4 right here says, youth development is the foundation for sustained on-field peak performance. That's something we take to heart at the Philadelphia Union. If we do a good job developing players in our academy, we will sustain a high level of success on the field. Our partnership with Cape Fear is part of that, and I'm going to try to talk about that very unique and real connectedness all night long. So our objective for our program for the Union Academy, and every time you see one of these Union Academy objectives, we now believe that it's the Cape Fear objective too. So our objective is to try to become the most outstanding academy in North America, the first MLS club to consistently produce homegrown world-class players. Does anybody know what homegrown player, besides my sons, does anybody know what homegrown players means in this country? Aiden, you can't say because you're a football guy. So, anybody know what homegrown players means? Any of the kids in the audience know? All right, this is one of the key reasons in this country we have a process in the MLS where if you come through an academy program and you've been trained under the coaches and you've spent the hours that will allow you to be a homegrown player, you can be taken directly from a youth program and given a professional contract. And that professional contract effectively gives a young player time, okay, time to develop. There's not a lot of pressure at the start. There's about a 3 to 4 year process. And that homegrown status will now be in effect for all the kids that play in the Cape Fear Soccer Club. All right? Now, there's a lot of rules and regulations that go along with that, but I'm going to talk tonight about the path, where you are now to where you could eventually be. And what I want that to do is hopefully just inspire. Okay? If you go back to the previous, backwards. All right? One of the things is dream. Okay? Our soccer brings people together, inspires dreams, and forges memories. This is the most important thing, I think, for a youth player, is to have a dream about being a pro. If they can dream it, it drives them. It drives them to kick that soccer ball and drive your moms crazy and break lots of stuff in your house and all kinds of things. But the more you do that, the greater chance you have of reaching that ultimate dream of being a professional. And so that connectedness and that dream is something we want to try to go for. To what? Yeah, no, sorry. Coach Bielsa is one of the best coaches in the world. He's an Argentinian. I've actually been very fortunate to meet him. This is a great quote from him, and above the quote are pictures that I think illustrate the path that I'm talking about. The quote is, "A man with new ideas is considered mad until he succeeds." Okay, and a lot of people have called me mad. All right, and a lot of people in Philly still do, by the way. But I'm still doing it, so maybe I'll get to that level of success. My point is, this is the start of it. Okay, this kid right here, he's, I think he is a 5-year-old. He's in our program called Union Futures. All right, he wears the kit. He looks the part. Okay, he trains, and I'm going to show you a video where he actually played in our stadium. This is a kid that's a little older. Okay, he's I think a 10-year-old. That's fantastic technique, by the way. We like that. Getting a little older. This is one of my oldest son's teammates here. I didn't want to show Morgan's picture. And then we have a college player who came through our prep academy program. Unfortunately, he's at Virginia, so we don't like to talk about him because we're Wake Forest guys here. And then this is Jack McInerney. Okay, Jack McInerney. How many people know who Jack McInerney is? Okay, Jack McInerney is our 20-year-old scoring phenom. Right? He's in the national team presently in the Gold Cup, and we hope that he gets on and gets his first cap with the U.S. national team. Riley, can you stand up for 1 second? Riley's wearing a Jack McInerney jersey, and I think part of that, thank you Riley, appreciate it, part of that is that if you're a kid playing and you can say, I want to be Jack McInerney one day, and you can say, I want his jersey, I want to wear it. And you can see this real line here that goes from a 5-year-old all the way to the first team. I want to, again, re-emphasize that path that we want to create, the path that we want to create with Cape Fear as well. Next slide, please. So here it goes. Step 1 is our Union Futures. We go to our Union Juniors, which we have with the Cape Fear program as well, into our academy, which is U14, U16, and U18, and then that goes to the first team or professional level, which starts with when you're in college and you're playing for Reading United under 20. We have a PDL program. We have a third division club, which is a USL, like the Wilmington Hammerheads here, and then all the way to the first team. It's a unique structure in this country. If we were in England, for instance, that would all be the same club. But the way we have to do it, and the way that we're changing this country, is we're trying to build this path that is unique to our culture, and trying to make sure that that little guy has a chance to be where that guy is. That's Michael Farfan. He's another young player. He's a 24-year-old fantastic player as well. This is just what we think we do at the Union Academy. We want to be a service supplier model. And we want to take all of these things and give it to that kid right here. All right? And it doesn't just mean that you go out on the soccer field and you train. That's obviously the most important part of it. But we want to make sure that they have all the support from technical and tactical, the psychological, but life lessons and the liaison support system. Technology is really important in today's development in any kind of area of education. Nutrition, medical, ADT is athletic development training. All of these things make up what we hope to be a Union Academy player and a Cape Fear player. And can you go back one? I'm going to show you a video, and this video was 2 weeks ago when we played FC Dallas, and we had our 2001 Union Juniors come out and play at halftime. And it's really cool because they showed up at the stadium, they all got a Philadelphia Union kit, they watched the game, and they got down into the tunnel, they walked out the same tunnel as the first team. You'll see some really cool little aspects of this next video. We have cool music, but somehow it's not working right now. So this is one of our coaches getting everybody together here. That's our stadium. It's called PPL Park. This is the players getting escorted into the tunnel where all the first team players walk out. Pretty special place. It's What's really cool about this is we're coming off at halftime during the game, and they're standing there waiting, and you'll see some of our players and staff come up, and this is just the kind of interaction that is, we think, very special for Philadelphia Union. That's Jeff Park. You saw Zach McMath there. It's Ray Gaddis. Coaches, players, there's Jack Mack, Connor Casey, and Olivia Kugo. The kind of names that we want these little guys to be dreaming about being one day. They're out there on the field at PPL, playing in front of our famous supporter section, the Sons of Ben. I'm going to tell you a story in a second about this goal that's about to get scored. That goal right there, coming up after our video. Giving the fans a round of applause, just like the pros. Fans giving it right back to them. The fans are singing the Duke song, which is a famous song that we sing, our fans sing when we score a goal at PPL Park. All right, so real quick, I'm going to tell you a story about that goal that was scored, okay? There's a player on our team named Clayberson. Anybody heard of him? My wife does. Clayberson is a World Cup winner. He won the World Cup in 2002 with Brazil. He was a young player at that time and wasn't a starter initially on that team, but by the end of the knockout phase, in the round robin phase, he was a starter. In the third game, he started the rest of the games. He was really an amazing player and kind of had to break out in South Korea at the 2002 World Cup. He then went to play for Alex Ferguson at Man United, and he's had an illustrious career. Anyway, he now plays for us. He's a little older, long in the tooth. He's a 32-year-old. We still think he's got some gas in the tank. But the kid who scored the goal in that video is his son. And so Clayberson hasn't scored a goal at PPL Park. And I said to Clayberson, isn't it ironic that your son scored on this field before you did? So, cool little story. This is what we try to do, and what we want to try to connect from the first team all the way down to the little guys and girls, is that there is a playing style, and there's a formation. And with each position, there's some definition, okay? And this is something that we need to do better in this country. And it's one of the things that I think is going to change soccer in America, is if we can start teaching fundamentals, but also start being a little position specific. It has to be at the right ages. Coaches and parents, I don't want that to happen under 12, okay? But if we see a player with a trait where they have an incredible engine, okay, they can just run all day, that they recognize when to get forward and when they have to defend, they can maybe serve a ball, an amazing ball with their left foot, that might be a great left back for the future, okay? And you go through all the positions, I don't need to bore you with all of it, but we try to define those. And so